Okay, now we are getting close to finish. What we need to do now is to extrude on the bottom and shell and cut the back. So to do that, let us go to the bottom view. We're going to do an extruded cut. We're going to select the base, and we're going to put on some construction lines first. So we're going to select our center line. We are going to go down to the middle here. The axis shows the middle. We're going to put a line here. I'm going to hit the escape key because I don't want to have a line going down to the horizontal line we're going to make next. Then we're going to put a center line. As you put the cursor over the side, you will notice that the middle indicator shows up, at which point I will click and drag across and hit escape. Now I have a plus showing me where the middle of this base is. I am then going to select my center rectangle. I'm going to start it at the middle here and just going to sketch a square. Now I'm going to smart dimension. This side is going to be 0.75 units inches. And I am then going to click the check mark to finalize my dimension. Another thing of note that I didn't mention before is that we want to make sure when we started this project that our units on the bottom right hand corner down here are inches. IPS, inches, pounds, seconds. You want to make sure that the units that you want to start with are the units you want to use. The pressure plate tutorial used millimeters, but this project we're using inches. Just a quick note on that. So now we have to dimension this bottom side also to be 0.75 units inches. So we have a square of 0.7, 0.75. Now we are going to exit the dimensions, exit the sketch, and then it says how deep do you want to go. So if I rotate the part here, you can see it's going in 0.75 inches. We don't want to be 0.75 inches. We want to go in 0.5 inches. And once I hit the enter button, you can see it corrects on the thing there. Over here. But we want to make sure that it's 0.5. Then we will hit the check mark OK. And you can see we have our extruded cut, which will mate this part, the top part, to the bottom part. Hit trimetric. Make sure you hit the save button. Now we just have to shell and cut the back to be finished. So we're going to hit the back view, and we're going to hit the shell command, which is right here. Alright, now the shell command is easy to use. We click it to activate it. We're going to click the back place anywhere except for the extruded holes, and we're going to use the defaults of 0.1 inch and hit the check mark. You will now see that you have shelled it, and you have these top towers here which we need to cut back. So we're going to hit the save button, because every time you do something you should hit the save button. Now I'm going to hit the back button again, and I'm going to do an extruded cut. Now it says, what do you want to cut on? I want to cut at the top of one of these towers. So if I zoom in, I can click in that area here. Then I can click the back to go back out. Now I'm going to use a center rectangle. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to start my center rectangle at the origin of this axis. And what I want to do is I want to sketch this rectangle so that it includes all three of the towers, but I want to include this tower, and this tower. I do not want to include anything else. I'm not going to dimension it. The fact my sketching has the towers within it is sufficient. I am then going to exit the sketch, and my last cut was 1/2 inch. I want to change it to 2.3 inches. Okay? So I'll select it, type 2.3 units, inches, hit enter, and then check mark, and then click away. And if I press and hold the scroll button, middle scroll button, and move this way, you can see that we have cut it back. This is where the LEDs pins are going to come out, and it's not touching that. So now we have successfully completed our traffic light top that has the horseshoes, the holes for the LEDs, it has the bottom extrusion to connect to the bottom piece, and shelled the back, and did a cut so that we can get our LED pins through there. And that finishes this SOLIDWORKS Challenge 1. So if you have any questions on this, let me know, but you should also do this tutorial 3 to 5 times so that you become comfortable with the processes we've talked about.